Hey, this is Jack at TC3. Today we're going to fix something a little bit different. Take a rest from the car. Our oven, the top burners are messing up. Like if you turn your dual burner, you turn it on, even at low, it just goes full blast all the time. It's supposed to, let me flip that light off so you can see. It's supposed to just be like on just for a second and then off for a while, and that's how it adjusts the temperature. And even the dual burners set on low, both of them are just blazing. It's just going to keep going. So the switch is bad, and it's the dual switch. There's a single switch and a dual switch on each side, so we're going to have to pop the back of this off. Of course, unplug your appliance and you can kill the breaker too. There'll be 10 screws. You need a Phillips head screwdriver to do this entire project. So there's 5 screws on the right side, 5 on the left. Grab this by the bottom and just kind of bow it out and then pull it down. There's like little slots that slides in at the top. And then just get that out of the way for now. It's a little bit of a bear to find this switch. I had to do quite a bit of digging to get it. So this is what it looks like. It's a dual burner, and the one next to it's a single burner. So you just pull your knob off, and you see that number there? Yeah, you're assuming that's the number for the switch. No, it's not. I don't know what it's a number for, but it's not for this switch. So there's your switch. It's the one with all the wires in the back. This is the dual one. This is the number you need. 9758060 for Accubake Whirlpool. And there's like, I don't know, man, there must be like 50 different models of this. And so I got the new switch. I was gonna buy the authentic one, but it was like 150 bucks. I got this one for $50 on Amazon. Them numbers that you saw on that package are what you need for this. This thing I think cost $58, something like that. Anyway, it was like $100 less. It was like a third of the price. So while the other switch is still mounted in the stove, pull these wires off because that'll hold the switch. It just make it a lot easier. Them wires are on tight. Grab it with the pliers, pull it off, and what you're going to do is put it right back on the switch. Orient the switch just the way the one that you're taking off, and put each one exactly where it goes on the new switch. If you do these one at a time, if you pull them all off at once, it becomes a little bit of a puzzle. So you do them one at a time like this, and the actual stove is holding that switch. So after we get these all on, we'll snug them on there good, make sure they're all good connections, and then we'll get around to removing the old switch. So anyway, like I said, I got this one on Amazon. The part numbers on that bag that I showed earlier. Yes, I forget what it is. Okay, so now we can get around to removing the old switch. Okay, it's just 2 Phillips head screws and it'll fall out. That's it. So, little tiny screws, don't lose them. Yeah, if you can hold it. This thing kind of slipped away from me. Yeah. So anyway, if it didn't slip out, this is how you'd take it off, but it did. So it doesn't matter. It's an old broken switch. So you take the new one, just put it through there, and put your 2 Phillips head screws back in. You're going to go and slide your control knob back on, and yeah, it's the dual burner one. They call both of these switches, the one that's single and the one that's dual, infinite switches. So you'll see, oh, infinite, that must be, no. They're both called that for whatever reason. So I put it on low here. That should click off if it's working right. Yeah, there it goes. So that was the single burner. It'll click on and off, and well, now we'll just put it to full blast on the single burner. It should just stay on. That's what it should do. And that worked right. So let's give the dual burner a test. So we're going to turn this to full blast. Both of them should be on and just stay on. And I guess the ultimate test will be to turn this down a little to make sure it all clicks off as a double burner. So I got it set to like halfway. There we go. Working the way it's supposed to again. Anyway, after that, you're just going to slide on your cover again, just the way you took it off. Put the top in first, on the bottom you're going to have to bow it a little to get it to set in. Watch it. All sheet metal has very sharp edges. If you get your fingers caught in there, you could cut them. So just be a little careful with this. And then you're going to Then you're going to put your 10 screws back in, 5 on each side. So I did it the lazy way. I use the drill driver. I put it most of the way in. I won't tighten it because this will, even on the lowest torque setting, will strip the metal the screws are going into. So I put it most of the way and then just kind of finish up with a handheld Phillips head. Number 2 will work just fine. Yeah, so I'm just going to snug them now. I just didn't want to strip them all out and have them falling back there and everything. I don't know. This is really just a guard to make sure nobody gets their hands into these electrical connections. So, just plug it in, slide it back in, and yeah, that's about it. She's good to go. That's actually a real simple fix. Thanks for watching, and hopefully this is helpful.